What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Monday morning to you, and welcome to this devotion series through the Gospel of Luke. If you're with me, you want to pause and read ahead. We're in Luke chapter 9. We're going to start in verse number 23. Now, before I read this, I'm going to give you a little bit of a nugget here in terms of how I was thinking about it today. And it's this: pay attention to the words. Pay attention to the specific words that they use and how they're used. And maybe here's what I mean by that. When you actually figure out sentence structuring in words like a verb, an adjective, a noun, like how they're all mixing together to make, and you really think about, okay, well, what are the verbs? What's he asking me to do? Verbs are to do things, right? What are the nouns? These are the things that are in there that are most important. Think about it that way. Now, in light of that, let's hear these words. Jesus said to them all, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for me will save it. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world and yet lose or forfeit their very self? Whoever is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes in his glory and in the glory of the Father and of the holy angels." Good. So many good words here. Can I just pick on some words here? First word, whoever. I love it. It's an open invitation. Jesus did not have these, okay, if you're going to be my disciple, you got to Now, no. First of all, everyone's welcome to join on and be my disciple. I need a whosoever, right? I love that. Just whoever. It doesn't matter. Black, white, brown, yellow, green, boy, girl, everyone is invited. Just to be a whosoever. I just want you to know there's nothing about your past that just automatically cancels you from being a disciple of Jesus. All you'd have to do is go read your Bible, and then what you find is that every person in the Bible is broken and flawed, many of them more than others even, like you're surprised. And you realize, no, God is in the business of using unqualified and sometimes disqualified people, because I think that's his specialty. God's like, there's nothing I can't use to bring about my kingdom. And so that's why I'm here. So I'm a whosoever. Whoever wants to be my disciple. I think you need to pay attention to that word disciple there, because when you read the New Testament, when Jesus is walking around with the disciples and what the word disciple means and how they would have thought about it, it meant to be a student sitting at the master's feet. Disciple also has the same root word as discipline, meaning there's a discipline to this. The other idea is that in their culture, the rabbi was to be honored and you wanted to model your life after him. And so the idea is, when it comes to being a disciple, I don't want to just learn what they know. I actually want to become who they are. So anybody is invited, but what they're invited to do is to come and not just learn information, to actually become like Jesus. And he tells you, all right, this is how that process is going to work. Next word, you ready? It's the word deny. He goes, if you want to be my disciple, you have to deny yourself. The metaphor would be that you have to take up your cross and deny yourself. And what are you denying? I find I'm constantly denying my selfishness, my ego, my pride, my anger, basically just a lot of me, a lot of Todd. Because if Jesus is going to shine his light through me, then I got to take all of the dirtiness that is Todd and try to get rid of that and let God sanctify that, heal that, restore that, make me whole again so his light can shine purely through me. But there's some things in my life that do not belong. And if I let those things reside in my heart, I will never follow Jesus as closely as I can. And again, go back to that word disciple. I'm wanting to be a disciple. I even think there's so many Christians that say, well, I believe. That's not a disciple. There's a lot of people that believe but aren't disciples. Some people say, well, I'm a follower of Jesus. I would say, hey, sometimes I'm seeing people follow from a distance or follow sporadically or occasionally. Right? No. The highest level of walking with Jesus is being his disciple. And then last word, it's the adjective, right? It's daily. Daily is the word here. Notice this. He says, if anyone wants to be my disciple, they must deny themselves and take up their cross daily. I just want you to know that taking up your cross and denying yourself is never a finished project. It's ongoing maintenance, right? It's more like taking care of weeds. When I think about my yard, every once in a while I get my yard just perfectly dialed in. The pesticides, insecticides. They got the weed and feed and the lawn grower and all. And it's just, and then you trim it and you mow. You're like, it's perfect. Well, just give it a couple weeks and don't do anything to it and watch what happens to it. And so this is the idea that Maybe I did work on my pride and my anger. Maybe I worked on some things that were in my life. Well, here's what I know. If I don't continue to work on those things and I just let all that stuff kind of slide, give me a month, give me 2 months, I will just slowly slide back to a lot of those old habits and a lot of those old attitudes. And so what do I want to do? I just want to be aware, hey, the invitation is there from Jesus. I want to step into that invitation and not just become a believer, not even a follower. I want to become a full-blown disciple. But to do that, I must die to myself, and I must do it daily. Church, I love you so much. I hope you are walking with Jesus as closely as you possibly can. I hope that you are a disciple sitting at the Master's feet. I love you so much. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow.